Alright, welcome back to another video from Shomu's Biology. And in this lecture, we are going to talk about azithromycin antibiotic. So what is azithromycin antibiotic? What is the general properties of azithromycin antibiotic? What are the use of azithromycin antibiotic and side effects of azithromycin? We are also going to talk about the azithromycin mechanism of action in this lecture. So continue to watch it. The first thing is the general properties of azithromycin antibiotic. What is the general property? Azithromycin belongs to a class of drug known as macrolides antibiotic, macrolide or macrolide, whatever you say. It works by killing bacteria or preventing the growth of bacteria. So there are two types of effect an antibiotic can exert to a bacteria, that is either killing the bacteria or halting the growth of the bacteria. If it kills the bacteria, we call it bactericidal, and if it halts the growth of the bacteria, we call it bacteriostatic. So here, macrolides are generally belonging to bacteriostatic kind of antibiotic. Sometimes it can also kill the bacteria, but it's bacteriostatic, so it prevents the growth of the bacteria. It is used for the treatment of number of bacterial infection, includes middle ear infection, strep throat, pneumonia, traveler's diarrhea, and certain other intestinal infections. Okay, along with other medications, it may also be used in malaria treatment. And it can be bactericidal, as I said, or bacteriostatic, depending upon the concentration of the antibiotic that we're using. At very low concentration, it will be bacteriostatic, which will only allow the prevention of growth of the bacteria, but with higher concentration, it may kill the bacteria as well. So classification, as I said, azithromycin belong to macrolides. So macrolides can be classified in different examples: erythromycin, clarithromycin, azithromycin. These are the three very common type of macrolides that we know: erythromycin, clarithromycin, and azithromycin. Okay, and all these three belong to macrolides type of antibiotic, and they are protein synthesis inhibitor. What they do, actually, they bind to the 50S ribosomal subunit of the bacteria and inhibits the formation of peptide. So the mechanism of action is they bind to 50S subunit and prevents the polypeptide exit via the exit channel. So this is what happens. This is the 50S ribosomal subunit, this is 30S subunit, and macrolides bind to the 50S subunit. And what is the exit channel? For that, you can see this picture in the right hand side. You can see that these black dots, they are the amino acid sequences that they are joined together as a polypeptide. We call them nascent polypeptide chain. And once the nascent polypeptide chain is produced, that is finally there in the A site. This is E, P and A site. So finally they are present in the A site, linking to the tRNA in the A site, or known as transferase site here. Okay, so this is where once the nascent polypeptide is made, there is an exit channel through which the polypeptide should come out. Okay, and if this exit channel is blocked by azithromycin, in this case the macrolide antibiotic inhibitors, so they block this exit channel. As a result, this nascent polypeptide chain will not find any room to come out after the synthesis, and the synthesis is halted. It may not kill the cell because the protein synthesis may be halted after for some time, till the point of time where the antibiotic is present. The antibiotic here has a specific half-life. Once after that, the antibiotic will be degraded, it will be released from the body, but till the point it is present, it's going to inhibit the release of the nascent polypeptide through the exit channel. That is the mechanism. You can see here the macrolides and ketolides. There are two types of antibiotics, macrolides and ketolides, and the streptogramine. Okay, all these three inhibit the translocation of peptide elongation. So there is a particular phase known as translocation of peptide elongation, where the ribosome moves one codon unit apart from 5' to the 3' direction. That is known as translocation. This is where the transfer of the peptide, nascent peptide, is done from the P site tRNA to the A site, and also the exit is mediated. So basically there are different mechanisms of action that are being prescribed. One is the prevention of the translocation here. Okay, and this binding is reversible binding. Remember the reversible binding, because in this case the azithromycin may also dissociate from the 50S subunit, and the moment it dissociates, again the process will be normal and the bacteria can start to produce their own protein. Okay, so they are bacteriostatic in nature, so they inhibit the growth of the bacteria, not killing them directly at the lower concentration, but if you increase the concentration, it may become bactericidal. Okay, so that is the idea. It prevents the elongation. Also, it prevents the exit of nascent polypeptide via the exit channel. So these are the mechanism of action for azithromycin antibiotic. Okay, and azithromycin is quite commonly used in many infections, particularly in fever and all. Although the flu is something where we use azithromycin a lot these days, but the flu caused by virus, and this azithromycin has nothing to deal with killing the virus, but it has to deal with killing the bacteria which can cause or may cause secondary infections like pharyngitis and so on, the soft tissue infections of the nasal passage as well as the upper respiratory system. So that's why we use this azithromycin antibiotic along with other vitamins and all during flu, because this antibiotic will not kill the virus, but the antibiotic is there to kill the opportunistic pathogens, opportunistic bacteria that may cause a secondary infection, because our immune system is compromised and our body is weak during the viral infection. So in this segment, we are going to see an animated video regarding the 50S inhibitor, 50S protein synthesis inhibitor, that is macrolides and streptogramins. These are the examples of 50S ribosomal subunit inhibitor for bacterial protein synthesis. So let's begin to understand the mechanism of 50S inhibitor like macrolides and streptogramins. So for the protein synthesis of bacteria, they require mRNA that contains codon in it. The codons are represented with this blue color and orange color structures in the middle. 3 different codons are listed. It requires a 30S subunit containing EPA site and also 50S subunit containing same EPA site. And it also requires this tRNA, that is the growing chain, and another tRNA. The tRNA that we are seeing, they are going to interact to the amino acid, and we call it as a charged tRNA that will bring specific amino acid to the A site. So you can clearly see in the P site we have tRNA and multiple blue dots. Blue dots are representing amino acids. So polypeptide sequence is being formed, and that is in place of the P site. And the new charged tRNA will bring itself to the A site, and the transpeptidase reaction will continue. So the charged tRNA brings amino acid to the A site, and then transpeptidase reaction is catalyzed by the 50S subunit, and they will transfer the rest of the polypeptide chain to the tRNA of the A site, and then the ribosome will move one codon unit apart, and that way the protein synthesis process continues. This is a common elongation method of protein synthesis, and these 50S subunit inhibitors prevent this process of transpeptidase reaction or peptidyl transfer reaction. So let's go back. So if this is, let's say, macrolides, the macrolide antibiotics will bind to the 50S subunit, and upon binding to the 50S subunit, it modifies, it actually restricts the catalytic function of the 23S ribosome of the 50S subunit of this bacterial ribosome. And what it does, it will not allow the movement and transfer of the polypeptide to the tRNA of the A site. So no further movement is possible. So it prevents the peptidyl transfer activity, thus inhibition of protein synthesis. This is how 50S inhibitor like macrolides, streptogramins work. So what are the clinical uses of azithromycin? Upper respiratory tract infections like pharyngitis, tonsillitis and sore throat. This is where we use it. And remember, pharyngitis and sore throat is very common associated with the flu. So flu is caused by the virus. We don't need to use any medications for that, but we need to use antibiotic to get rid of the pharyngitis, which is caused by bacteria, to get rid of sore throat, tonsillitis, which is caused by bacteria. It is also used in otitis media. It is also used in lower respiratory tract infection like pneumonia, Mycobacterium avis complex, MAC, and anthrax there, example. And staphylococcus skin infection is something against of which we can use azithromycin. And in some STDs, sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydia and gonorrhea, this is where we can also use azithromycin. So basically in chlamydia, gonorrhea, there are multi-drug treatment therapies are prescribed. So azithromycin can be used as one of the drug in that multi-drug therapy. What are the side effects of azithromycin? That is stomach upset, diarrhea, pain in the stomach, okay, loose stool and diarrhea, nausea, vomiting and abdominal pain. So all these things are related to your gastrointestinal distress. This is what is caused by azithromycin, okay, upset stomach, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, which can be managed if we provide prebiotic and probiotic along with azithromycin antibiotic. So along with this antibiotic, if we provide a supplement of probiotic, some supplement of good bacteria, then in that case we can get rid of diarrhea, nausea, vomiting and abdominal pain associated as a side effect with the azithromycin antibiotic. So that's why we use azithromycin quite often in case of lower respiratory tract, upper respiratory tract infection, and during the flu symptoms, where pharyngitis and secondary infections like pharyngitis, sore throat is strep throat is very common. So that's all about azithromycin antibiotic general properties, azithromycin use, azithromycin mechanism of action. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel to get more videos like that in future. Thank you.